Polk County lies smack dab in the middle of the state of Florida. It covers over 2,000 square miles and is home to nearly 750,000 people. This makes Polk County the 5th largest by area and the 9th most populated county in Florida. However, there is one thing that they are #1 at, and that is polluting their environment. The Peace River is one of Florida's most precious rivers. Not only does it have a huge tourism value, but it supplies 6 million people with drinking water. That is 1/4 of all Floridians get their water from the Peace River watershed. The headwaters to the Peace River is located in Polk County at Lake Hancock. Saddle Creek flows into the lake from the north. Unfortunately, there is a farm located on Saddle Creek that got a permit to do something very few other counties in Florida would allow. They dump untreated human waste into their ponds that are not lined. Not only does Polk County's waste end up here, but the farm accepts human biosolids from all over the state. Counties like Dade and Broward produce tons of biosolids every day, so they hire trucking companies to haul it away. Once it leaves their county, there is no record keeping of where it goes, so most of it ends up here. After the waste sits in these ponds for a while, it gets pumped to another pond where it is mixed with wood chips. The containment dike around this pond is made out of these wood chips, so that doesn't sound very secure because it isn't. You can see here the waste is seeping under the dike, forming a river of crap headed for the Saddle Creek. There is another dike that runs the perimeter of this property, and this is what the water looks like on the Saddle Creek side of this dike. This so-called organic fertilizer is then sold to farmers to put on their fields and orchards. Since it is considered organic, there isn't any regulation on where it can go. Polk County is one of the leading citrus producers in Florida. If you drive through the groves, it won't take you long to spot a pile of this organic fertilizer. After it gets dumped alongside the road, the farmers load it into their tractors and spread this stuff under their trees. All of this human waste eventually finds its way back into our groundwater. Polk County also is a very big beef producer. There are many cattle farms, and their favorite fertilizer is this human waste. Just like the citrus farmers, they broadcast it all over their pastures to fertilize the grass so the cows have something to eat. Doesn't that make you crave a burger right now? A few years ago, the Central Florida Pipeline went right through Polk County. It tore through people's front yards. There were houses that were in the path, so they literally had to go around the homes. It ripped through the Oakwood Golf Club, which is a golfing community with hundreds of houses. It entered Oakwood from the north and followed the fairways. It turned and went beside vital wetlands. Then it crossed another fairway. This course was closed for almost a year. The pipeline traveled down Route 60. They had to board under several creeks and wetlands until it got to Lake Kissimmee. They had to line bore this pipeline over a mile under the Kissimmee. Just imagine if it ever gets a leak under this critical river. The amazing thing is that this pipeline was not allowed to go on road easements, so they had to get the permission from every private landowner in its path. Out of the hundreds of landowners in Polk County, there was only one person that objected to this pipeline going through his land, so they took it through eminent domain. The rest of Polk County gave up their land without a single fight. Polk County is among a few counties in Florida that have their own spray boats to spray invasive plants in their lakes. The FWC funds these boats, and in the last decade, they have managed to destroy all of their lakes. Rosalie, Tiger, Walking Water, and Crooked Lakes all have been decimated by this spraying. There isn't anything left to spray in these lakes.
I mean, there's nothing for them to do out here on Lake Rosalie anyway, or Lake Walking Water, or Tiger Lake. There's nothing there for them to do. There's some Kissimmee grass out here, maybe a tad bit of water hyacinth and pencil reeds. And that's all there is for these people to do. There's no hydrilla, no eelgrass, no peppergrass. They've killed it all.
Human waste, gas pipelines, and aquatic herbicides are all child's play compared to Polk County's worst polluter, and that is Mosaic. This company produces phosphate fertilizer, which is shipped all over the world. The EPA has publicly stated that the way Mosaic produces their fertilizer is the most toxic industry in the United States. 2 of their largest processing plants are located near Bartow, the largest city in Polk County. The groundwater around these plants are so polluted that all the residential ponds have blue-green algae year-round, even in the dead of winter. The people who live around these stacks not only have the poisons in their groundwater, but they are also exposed to the toxins of this algae. Even the ponds next to parks where their kids play baseball is covered with this algae. Mosaic uses a massive amount of water every day in their production of their fertilizer. Their wastes are so toxic that they have a permit to suck 70 million gallons of water out of the aquifer every single day. They need this water to dilute their waste so they can discharge them into the Peace and the Alafia rivers. The EPA allows them to dump these poisons into our rivers as long as they dilute them below a designated level. To better understand this, there are 750,000 people who live in Polk County, and the average person uses 80 to 100 gallons of water every day. That is roughly 70 million gallons. That means that this one company pumps as much water out of the ground than all of the people in Polk County combined. Decades of sucking water from their aquifer has left Polk County in a bind. The county now believes by the year 2035 they will run out of water. So the Southwest Florida Water Management District is now spending millions of your tax dollars to drill down 3,000 feet into the sub-aquifer to find a new supply of water for the residences of this county. There are presently 4 drill sites. The first one is located in Lake Wales on Boy Scout Camp Road. This site cost $2.1 million just to drill 3 wells, and it was completed in the fall of 2018. This site could be considered for a future desalination plant. The second well site is just south of Lake Wales on Hunt Brothers Road. It is located in a park next to the Lake Wales Soccer Club. This site cost $1.8 million, and the Phase 1 drilling started in January of 2019. The third site is located in the town of Frostproof on the site of the South County Jail. The drilling was completed in 2019, and the cost was $3.1 million. The last site is located next to Crooked Lake on Highway 27. This site was the cheapest at a cost of $1.4 million. There were 2 phases to this drilling, and Phase 1 was done in January of 2018, and Phase 2 drilling was done in the summer of 2019. It will take time for the Southwest Florida Water Management District to study the results of these wells to see if they are a viable source of drinking water. The results are due in the fall of 2020. All total, the Southwest Florida Water Management District spent $8.4 million on these 4 sites, but that is just the beginning. The water at this depth is salty and will require building desalination plants costing hundreds of millions of your tax dollars. Polk County, you get an F. You have allowed corporations to steal your water and poison the drinking water of 6 million of your neighbors. And now you expect the rest of Florida to pay for desalination plants to replace the water that you sold to the highest bidder? The residences of Polk County and the people that live downstream of your mess deserve so much better.